everybody in esports is just learning so much every single split. And I think what a lot of people don't understand on the outside is staff in esports really, they're trying to figure it out as they're going. So a lot of the times, very competent people and some of the best coaches I've known and worked with, or staff I've known and worked with, have made mistakes, I've known for a long time that I wanted to eventually work in esports. I've been following esports since the old days of StarCraft. The day I started playing League was the day it actually got announced as being added to MLG in Season 1. And I always knew at some point in time I wanted to do this as a career. When I first started working in esports and first got job offers from real LCS teams, I think the first thing that surprised me, and this is a long time ago and things have changed, is just how underdeveloped everything was. And it just felt like everyone was just kind of making it up as they went along. And everyone was talking about infrastructure. And at the time, it was like the big talk of esports was like, the Koreans are winning because they have better infrastructure, better coaches. So all the orgs were trying to like, okay, well, this is how we win. But it really wasn't there yet. I thought it would be like working for any other business where you come in and you have a boss and there's like reports and all this stuff. But no, it was just like, okay, we're gonna try you out for this, do some work, I hope it's good.
Tomorrow, guys, we scrim Samsung. I think we should have a working team speak, and I think we should come in here and try and be a bit more serious about everything because we play in a few days. And I think we're playing well, like overall. Actually, I think we're playing pretty good. But I think we just need to step up the communication and the tryhardness, especially in the early game, because it doesn't feel like it felt like yesterday and the day before we're really like tryharding for our lives.
I mean, I feel like we're playing good, but not at that like extra level,
Yeah.
That can
happen.
That can compete to go out of groups convincingly.
Yeah.
Like get a top 2 convincingly.
League of Legends is a strategy game, but it's a bit like football, as in there's a set map, which is always the same, it never changes. And then you have 5 players on each team, and they all have their own individual role, but they have to perform. And you have to work together as your 5 players to basically destroy the enemy's base and win the game. There are many different coaching styles in esports. Being a coach, it's not really like defined right now. There's a style, sort of like Path and Dylan, this kind of thing, which is very much like an analyst style of being a coach, where they basically come up with strategies and draft plans and ideas of how to play the game and assist the players with information and sort of guide them through champions select and through like the play style and how we wanted to play out and execute our strategies. And then there's sort of coaches that sort of coach the players through their mentality and their mindset towards their teammates and how they should work together as a team.
And I think something that helps in games that are crazy is just slowing down and just talking quickly about what's like our actual win condition of our comp. Because sometimes when people are fighting and there's fighting going on everywhere, everyone just keeps talking about the next fight and what they're doing right now. But if someone not just on Visa can just say, okay, wait, what's our comp good at this game? How do we actually win the game? That helps kind of refocus people.
Also, someone's 90% chance gonna be of our team is gonna be behind, right?
Yeah.
So it's important that whoever is behind does not shut down and enable whoever is ahead to carry.
Yeah.
Honestly, I got brought on a lot because I worked with Jesse before. I think it was a big risk for Fnatic to bring in anyone as a coach, especially considering the track record with coaches with this team, that they didn't know exactly what he would bring to the table. And at least Jesse knew from working with me before that having me on, I like to hope he thinks this, that at least it would be an improvement, you know, that I could bring some positive change because he knew my work already.
On three, okay? Yeah. 1, 2, 3, Fnatic!
Week 1, we went in with good practice results, a pretty positive mentality, and a lot of preparation, thinking that we'd do well and we'd be favorites for taking number 2 in our group. We go in game 1, we get lane swapped on, and we botched execution massively, and we get smashed.
Oh my god, this Tristana, man.
And then game 2, we're in a winning situation. I thought we played and prepared fairly well, and then we just like barely lost in a really close game. All of a sudden, from going in with positive expectations, we ended up the first week 0-3 after a third loss.
Holy moly.
That was the steamroll. We got shit on.
Just the expectations and reality were so misaligned that everyone was really upset, and it was pretty difficult on the team and on everyone. I really did not know what to expect coming into Fnatic because I know they'd just gone through 3 different coaches. So obviously coming as a coach, the first thing you think is, well, I hope they're not going to go through 4. I was surprised with how professional the organization was and how well I was treated by management, and how the higher-ups of this organization very clearly knew what a winning team looks like and what the environment looks like on a winning team. They know what it looks like in the end, and they just needed to try and find the right people or the right process to kind of get there.
We're here to win, you know? We're not here to just play around, or are we going to test the waters and see how things are going.
You obviously want to be in a world-class team because that means you're a world-class player. And being a world-class player brings the prestige and the honor and the potential contracts in the future, the potential teams wanting to bring you on board, build your reputation, build your prize money, all this kind of stuff. Being at Wolves is basically every pro player's dream.
A player's career can be extremely short, and that also adds to the pressure we're talking about here. Whereas in a conventional sport that, you know, have more stability, you know that football or American football, whatever, going to be around for another 20 years, there are more chances around the corner. That's not necessarily a benefit pro players of esports today have, right?
I would say players, they play a minimum of like 10 hours a day, 6-7 days a week. You have to sacrifice everything if you want to make it to the top, if you want to make it here. If you don't, then there's going to be someone else that does, and someone else is going to be better than you.
You know, we're here back and fighting for our lives to succeed, and obviously come back to Europe, come back to our fans, knowing that we've done our utmost to win. It's not like we think we're here to learn, or we are, of course, but at the same time, we're here to win. You know, we are miserable when we lose. We hate losing.
We just took our last day of practice in between. It seemed pretty dire, but we tried to get as much out of it and adjust as much as possible, and we just pulled off the miracle run.
The Nexus is open, no way, makes his way back in, but he's not gonna go! That's a clutch play, and Fnatic do the unthinkable!
Really good.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Actually, once we won GAM, I knew there was a decent chance this would happen.
For me, and just my attitude going in, and what I try and convey to the players is, as long as we're alive in the tournament, we're alive. You know, there's a chance to make it out. Even when we're down 0-2, this was a scenario that we talked about and we know is possible, just because obviously as long as we're going 6-0 was a real possibility. And this 3-way tie, as crazy as it was, we knew it was something that could happen. So we just always assumed that this is a possible scenario and kind of pictured it and worked towards it. So something that I think a lot of people don't understand about coaching is that I don't think there's anyone that can come into a team and teach someone like, let's say for example, Soaz, who's played top lane for 7 years and is one of the probably top 10 top laners in the world, how to play top lane. Like, I don't think that person exists. But what I can do is know a lot about the game in general, know a lot about how to prepare for our matches, and help him to grow as a player as much as possible. I think every team needs an outside presence to lead preparation for matches and to kind of structure what, how, and why things are being practiced. And I think that would be my role more than anything else. In addition to that, we don't really have other coaching staff in-house with the team. So I kind of need to be a head coach, head analyst, sometimes a therapist, you know. It's a pretty all-encompassing role, but I would like to think that the majority of what I work is just leading our match preparation and strategy.
I want to be willing to switch to like linking the bot if we need to. I want to be willing to make some big adjustments and take some risks in the set if we end up going down a game or two, you know? Like, it's best of 5. We should try and mix it up if our main if it's needed, you know? And just, yeah. And they're calling us in, so yeah, let's do it.
All staff in esports just needs to trust their players at some point because we're not on the stage playing the game. Again, because League is a strategy game, sometimes players will just have wildly different ideas on just how the game should be played, and it can be pretty stressful, you know, if the coach has a wildly different idea than the player. But ultimately, if a player is doing something they don't believe in, it's never going to work. So it's kind of difficult.
RNG looking for the kills, turn the attention to the Nexus, they're looking to kill the Nexus, and Royal never give up, win game 1.
Any reason for anyone to feel bad after that one? I think it's a best of 5, you know? We just play next game.
Can we invade, Source? You and me,
Good
maybe?
luck, my friends.
Thank you.
I feel like as a coach, I've worked with a couple of the best teams in the West that have existed over the past couple of years in League of Legends, but I've never had like a result in a split or in a tournament that I'm really, really proud of. And I just like to accomplish that even once. Like, it doesn't need to be winning worlds, but I want it to be something where I feel like my team has really achieved what they can, their actual potential, yeah.
Xiao, who has ultimate, he's saving it for when Reckless gets in range. 10 seconds, the Nexus! Enjoy, the Nexus is the target. Uzi, mate, RNG, they haven't done it yet. Fnatic are down 0-2.
Winning worlds, it's not something I've even thought about, if I'm being honest. It's just I don't think we're at the stage yet where it's possible. A team coming into worlds with 2 rookie players and 1 playing in a new position. If we did win, then obviously it would be mind-blowing, and it would be the first time since the first season. That really just puts into perspective how difficult and big this whole tournament is.
I want to show that we're actually a world-class team. Like, I've seen us playing against these teams for the last month or 2 months, and I saw us qualify out of groups, which for a Western team is actually like quite an accomplishment. And I want us to just show in quarterfinals that we're a world-class team. And I honestly think we can and have the ability to win. So ultimately, that's what I want to do.
Hit Nexus, hit Nexus, hit Nexus, Nexus, Nexus. Yeah. Oh, just no, back. Nexus, 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 hit Nexus, hit Nexus. Nexus! Yeah!
Please, please eat something. We haven't eaten in like hours and hours and hours, and this is gonna be a long set, I think.
Let's take a deep breath, guys.
Yeah.
We got this.
These are sort of situations where, again, we just want to be the more calm and composed team going into the next 2 games. And we need to decide side. I think we should go back blue, and I want Tristan on our team.
Yeah, we're just going to see him again.
Yeah.
I'm just worried that...
And where'd they ban Malzahar?
Blue again. Believe and pull the trigger, and don't be scared.
Solwise continues to go long.
No flash over, no flash over.
Yeah, win this, win this. Fight.
Get the Twitch behind us. Go on Twitch. Twitch behind us. Kerker.
We can win there, we
No
can
flash,
have the back,
no flash,
we have
no
the back,
flash.
we have the back.
He gets one, blocks his poison, that's it.
And that.
Attention, Cap will be next. It's a double kill for Uzi.
To the end.
And the end.
Is he way? Yeah, they will. Mid.
Guangzhou is on their feet. Legends never die. When Guangzhou's calling out your name, RNG advance to the semi-finals.
It is so tough. 0-3 in week 1. Bounce back week 2, make it all the way into the quarterfinals. It's the first team ever to do that after starting down 0-3.
Setting records, but the Cinderella story must come to an end. Fnatic are eliminated from Worlds 2017.